Go.
So this is my music video ideas. So my sort of idea is sort of making a music video about self-harm awareness. It's a really serious issue, and it's a real shame because when I was trying to find music videos to do with self-harm, a lot of actual there aren't a lot out there sort of trying to raise awareness, and I'm hoping to sort of partner up with Samaritans, the charity who provide 24-hour calls to people who are having a lot of issues, to sort of help them to sort of, if they cooperate with the music video, at the end you can sort of have a display at the end sort of saying if you're going through these things, and you can always ask for help. And people dealing with these sort of situations sort of sometimes they lead a double life. They sort of they have their true feelings at home when they're alone, but when they sort of go to school and they're with their friends, they sort of they put a mask on. So I'm hoping to sort of show the contrast between the two in the music video. I'm hoping to use the song Spanish Sahara by Foals, who are an indie rock group who I've listened to for a while, and I really think it's a good song to use because it's got a really good emotional tone, but it also has a really gradual build up into a huge sort of climax at the end, and then sort of slowly edges off towards the end, so as the music video builds up, the song will build up with it. The lead singer of Foals actually came out in an interview and actually said why he wrote it and what it was about, and it's incredibly true. It's this sort of imaginary place where in people's minds where all the bad things go, and sometimes they can never leave it, but it's always there, and sort of closely relates to the subject, and sort of I can sort of show their Spanish Sahara and their sort of how they deal with everyday life with these issues. There's a demo. Got quite a gradual build up, so you might have to skip into the song a bit.
Still that summer I cannot bear, and I wipe the now the waves they drag you down, carry you to broken ground.
The song was also featured in the game Life is Strange, which is where I found out about Foals. It's basically a game about how this girl called Max can control time, and basically every choice you make in the game affects the outcome of the story, and there are 2 alternate endings, and the sort of darker ending, it has this song, and if it wasn't for this song, then it wouldn't have been so successful and emotional. In terms of editing, I've sort of basically going to have 2 different settings, so sort of public life and then home life, and I'm hoping to do the scene 1 setting, which will be home life, in terms of having a tripod and sort of doing straight panning, so it sort of represents that the cuts that they're doing, sometimes they're quite straight, so it sort of has the sort of same theme. And then for the second scenery setting, it will be handheld and uneasy, to sort of represent how they're feeling uneasy inside. And I'm going to film the first setting in colours and the second setting in black and white, because when they're in the first scene or setting, they're showing their true colours, but when they're out in public, they're not. And that is basically it. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments, questions?
Do they have do all of the Foals, all of their songs, they have really deep, meaningful meaning?
Some of them, yeah. Some of them it's a mixture in terms of their albums. Like sometimes in their albums they have loads of different kinds of songs in one album, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Okay.
So when you say that the home life is about self-harm, what are you going to show?
Sort of their inner struggles, sort of not the actual physical cutting because that could be too graphic, but maybe using fake blood, like sort of dropping, and maybe sort of show how it can be quite isolating in a what seems like a comfortable place, but can actually be really isolating inside their heads. Maybe sort of like silent screaming. You'll never be able to. There won't be any diegetic sound. There will always be non-diegetic of the music. So sort of like silent screaming, or sort of. And then when she's in public life, it will sort of be like happy, but you know that she's not.
Okay.